We have a short presentation from ProSeeder before the lunch panel to describe what they've been doing with their new app. So please, Ken, please take it away.
Great, thank you very much. So again, my name is Ken Gatz. I'm the founder and CEO of ProSeeder Technologies. ProSeeder is revolutionizing the private securities industry, and it's not that we're going to do it, we're actually in the process of that happening, and we're having a very large effect, and I'm here to tell you about what we're doing. ProSeeder builds enterprise platforms for the private securities marketplace, and I'm going to go into detail about what those different players are and how it works. One of them is NIBA, and so we are a partner of NIBA. This conference, all of the participating companies are on the ProSeeder platform with their deal rooms set up, and so after this conference, if you are interested in, and you indicate through the app or through another way outside that you're interested in interacting with one of these companies, you could do that through the platform. So what are we doing, right? So the private securities industry, comparatively to the public securities industry, there's a tremendous amount of work that goes on in order to make a deal happen, to make a trade happen, right? And so what we found in these private investment banks, broker-dealers, merchant banks, corporate VCs, law firms, is that everyone has cobbled together systems that are best of breed, like Trello and Salesforce and Merrill DataSite and Dropbox. And so, but everyone's on different systems. And so these systems do not talk to each other well, and they certainly do not create a compliant audit trail, and they're very costly to maintain all these different licenses, and you've got data in all these different places. And so what we attempted to do starting in 2012 was to build one cohesive system to address the needs of the investors, the financial organizations, and the companies. And we've succeeded in doing that. So ProSeeder is built, it is deployed over 250 financial firms. We have 30,000 issuers, companies that have either received capital or are seeking capital on the platform, and over 20,000 individual investors. So we've succeeded in that, and we have all of the services, whether it be document management, task management, event management, all of that built into one system, which is highly effective from an operational standpoint and specifically from a compliance standpoint, because you have one consolidated audit trail of everything that's going on within your organization. There's additional benefits as well to sales and marketing that I'll get into. So we're at an investment banking conference here, and we're talking about investment banking, but we found multiple market fits for ProSeeder. So we started out in the angel space. Our first client was Golden Seeds. Within 6 to 8 months, we conquered most of the major angel investment networks, the larger ones, which are part of the ecosystem. And we're now seeing those deals move up into investment banking as they need follow-on rounds that the angels can't provide. There's also a tremendous amount of syndication that goes on in the early stage angel investment space, and we're starting to see that now in investment banking as well. We have major law firms that are using our product, like DLA Piper and Perkins Coie, and really the biggest surprise for me was the market fit that we have with corporate VCs. The corporates realize, like Microsoft, Akamai, BMW, Forcia, the ones that you see up here are some examples of some very large companies that utilize our technology. They're building ecosystems around their organizations because they understand that the cutting edge technology and the talent is not coming to their large organizations anymore. It's happening out in rooms like in the other room over here, where you have entrepreneurs working their asses off just to build a product, get it out there, and that's where the talent is going. People are not coming out of school with computer science degrees and saying that they want to potentially work at Microsoft. That's not their first thought. They want to start their own company, or they want to be part of a startup. And so the corporates are trying to touch on and get actionable knowledge about these corporate ecosystems, and we play a very big role in doing that for them. So As you can see here, there's a screenshot of the NIBA platform, which we built for NIBA for this event. So all the companies that you see here, you'll be able to access them. You can download the mobile app. We had sent instructions to log in. You could do that. You can indicate that you're interested in receiving information from those companies. One of the things, this is another application of ProSeeder, right? This is an event. And so we are bringing together, or NIBA is bringing together, companies and investors. And what we found was everyone leaves the room after a while with a bunch of cards and some memories of who they were interested in. We now can electronically monitor that and give the information of entrepreneur X, these are the investors or investment banks that really want to meet with you and they want to get more information. So we can provide actionable knowledge to them through the platform. They each have their own deal rooms as well, where they can bring in their own investors, their own CRM, and manage their own contacts because they may have friends and family. So they need to manage those relationships as well. And they may not establish an investment banking relationship. And they may have to go and raise this money themselves, $25,000 at a time. We give them the capability to do that and the software to do that. So the configuration is almost unlimited in what we've done. So some broker dealers, they have a centralized structure where each rep kind of can see each other, and there's collaboration going on between them, potentially even in the investment banking formation. And then there's also what we call hub and spoke, where each rep can only see their clients, and they get information only from what's going on with their clients. But regardless of the implementation, these organizations across the platform are networked, so they can syndicate deals together. We just had one of the largest angel syndications in history. It was a $13 million capital raise, which is very large for angel groups, which are traditionally around $1 million, $2 million. And it was only possible because all of these groups shared due diligence and they syndicated the deal together. And brought this company, Cognition Therapeutics, into phase 1 clinical trials. That would not have happened if they did not have the technology to do that. So we're making a lot of progress there as well. If there are deals that you see, okay, at this conference that you want to engage with, and I'm sure that there are, we will set up as a sponsor and a partner of NIBA, a platform for you at no cost, and add those deals, syndicate those deals to the platform. The issuer needs to agree, and you could start using the platform for free on a trial basis for the deals that you have at NIBA. And if you want to continue expanding your use of the platform, we can talk about it. We have our salespeople here as well, and you can contact us. But we're making that offer to all of the NIBA members. And all of the NIBA members, the directory is also in there. So we're trying to drive greater collaboration across the NIBA membership firms as well as the individuals. Through the technology, another thing that we've really been great at is enforcing compliance, right? So everyone's got these supervisory procedures and books that are sitting in your desk that you don't really look at from time to time until the FINRA or the SEC comes in. We take the position that we can enforce compliance through technology, meaning that if the activity is happening on the system and not on paper, preconditions need to be met. Things need to be signed off before something can move to due diligence or before an investor could be given access to accredited investor-only deals. And so we utilize the technology and workflow to enforce compliance and reduce the liability and mitigate the risk for fines and audits from the regulators. We have portfolio management, so your clients can see what deals they've invested in and what the current price of those securities are on privates. If there's a 409A valuation that can be updated, but most importantly, the clients are in the system, right? So they're not receiving a FedEx package with the due diligence in it and have to read it when they get it. They can log in at any time. They can indicate their interest on the deals. You can engage with them. And really, one of the really interesting things is that we know, okay, within the system and can give you the actionable information to your brokers from a sales capacity that you know that investor X logged into this platform at this time and looked at this deal and they're interested in that deal. And it gives you really actionable knowledge from a marketing and sales perspective to follow up with that particular investor at that particular time. We have fully integrated CRM to record all of those activities and the responses and the actions that you take for that, setting that up. So the CRM pieces are all merged into one system as well. We are also integrated with Microsoft Outlook, so you can add deals, add contacts directly from your Outlook if you're using Outlook. One of the things that I say, I got about a minute left, but companies have the same problem. They were also using fragmented systems to raise money. We had been using fragmented systems to raise money. So we're solving those solutions for the companies as well. So every company that's here at NIBA has a free platform where they can manage their contacts, they can manage their offering documents, and they can invite their own investors into their own deal rooms. And that's part of the partnership with NIBA. And so thank you to the board of directors, Emily and her team, for setting all this up. It's great. Thank you so much. And so the reason this is so important is because you don't want your companies that you're funding focused on fundraising and cap table management and corporate governance and investor relations. That you want them focusing on the business opportunities and growing their teams and growing their revenue, right? Not to be distracted by these other needs, which there are. NIBA is not only made up of investment bankers and companies. NIBA is also made up of a lot of service providers, right? So those are attorneys, accountants, attorneys like Sequenzia, transfer agents like VStock, the investment banks. And so we're bringing them into the network. So they will be able to be shown, the services that the companies need will exist within the system, and they could very easily reach out and contact them, and they will go into their deal flow process for a new client. And so we're building what we call a market network of all of the professionals around an organization. And so that's going very well. And in this case, it all surrounds around the issuer and what they need. And so, we set out to build this platform, and if you think about what would be a platform that you would build to solve all the problems that do exist in the private securities market, it would be a platform that, that is flexible and scalable and can grow with your organization. It's one that's in the cloud and secure, so there's no servers. It's all hosted in the cloud. We've gone through multiple security checks from our corporate clients as well. It's on mobile, so it's live. You can carry it around with you. We're building this market network to bring in all of the other parties involved in these transactions, and it's compliant and auditable, and that's probably the most important part. From a capital raising standpoint, ProSeeder, we just finished our Series A. It was $7 million Series A. Just wanted to mention, this will give us runway probably through to Q4 2017, at which point we believe we'll be cash flow positive. But we feel that there's a tremendous market opportunity here, and so we may be coming out for Series B and talking to you, some of you about that in the near future, but not right now. So thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your lunch.